Hello guys, how are you? I'm glad that you're back. Thanks so much for being with me again. Um, this is a channel where we're gonna be focusing on meditation, tips for either new or beginning or old meditators, and where regardless of where you're at, that you can meditate with me. So thanks again for joining us. First two videos, we spoke about the posture of meditation, the basic practice. Just spoke about dealing with anxiety and our thoughts, kind of on a deeper level, either whether we're on the cushion or outside in our real life or in our everyday life, and how important it is to deal with our thoughts in an appropriate way. And today I'm going to be talking a bit about supports to our practice. So we're new to meditating, or we've meditated before and we just can't seem to stick with it, and or we we meditated once a long time ago and it was so nice, but we just never really did it ever since. And as I raise my hand, it's difficult. There's so much that we have to do in life, and sometimes those kind of self-exploration things or those self-care things, they're so easy to be the last thing that we do, or the thing that we leave for last on our to-do list. And guess what, at the end of the day we're tired and we just want to go to bed, or maybe just watch a movie and relax, or play some video games, or whatever it is we might do. And every day we keep passing ourselves by, and passing that opportunity to passing it by, this opportunity to deepen our self-understanding. And a lot of things in life. I'm actually a bodybuilder. I'm really into fitness, besides meditation and wellness, or that is a form of wellness for me. But a lot of these things, it's great to do it here and there, but the real benefit comes from when we have a regular practice. So first of all, the most important thing is, especially if you're just starting, maybe you don't know. Maybe, do you want to meditate every day? Do you want to meditate 3 times a week? Do you want to do it at all? And if you don't know the answer to that, that's totally fine. So there's no pressure in terms of, what is the ideal schedule, especially if you're starting out, because you don't know, and that's totally okay. So feel free to hang out with me. I'm going to be posting on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at midnight, California time. And so, if you're still kind of dipping your toes in, that's great. However, for people who maybe you are just starting out meditating, but you're certain it's something that you really want to do daily, or X times a week, that's even better, because we can kind of dive into these tips. And if you're still a bit on the fence, then it's just something to think about. But the first thing I'm going to mention is place. So you want to create a space specifically for your meditation. And it doesn't have to be large. It can just be basically the size of your leg print, your footprint on the floor. But you do want kind of a dedicated cushion. It doesn't have to be specifically a meditation cushion, though that is very valuable. And by the way, I will be posting a list of meditation resources that you can purchase below. So if you're new and you're looking for what are some good things to buy that will help your practice, then go ahead and check in the description below. Okay, so and what is the significance of having this dedicated place? Well, it's pretty much as basic as it sounds. It's like, if you have a place where this is the only thing that you do there, then it's, first of all, you're sort of making this statement with your living space, or it could even be in your workspace, or whatever you find most appropriate. But you're making a statement that, no, this, I'm literally carving out this area for this new practice or old practice, whatever it is. And by doing that, you're making a statement to yourself, visually speaking, in terms of the real estate you have in your space, of that this is important to you. And also, as part of that space, you might want to consider having either an altar or a shrine. This is a very personal decision, so it's very much up to you. I will say that in Zen Buddhism, which is a lot of where I've practiced and have sort of come up in terms of my development, it can be very sparse, and there is a kind of simplicity and comfort to that. So if you'd like, you can have a little meditation, a bowl, like a chime, so that you can start and end your sessions with this chime or this meditation bowl. You can also have an incense bowl, and really, basically, that can be it. You can have other things that you might consider putting on your shrine if you want to kind of make it more robust. Is you can have photos of maybe teachers or spiritual teachers that have inspired you. I think that's a great idea. If there's any, and it doesn't even have to be meditation related, but for example, Dr. King is someone who's really inspired me, and sometimes just the thought of him kind of like really hits me emotionally. How much love and passion and eloquence that he had. So you might want to put a spiritual leader, and it can also be more of a personal teacher. I do think sometimes there can be a benefit to kind of having a little bit more of a distance between you and, like basically not having like all of your close friends up on your altar or on your shrine. But again, it's a very personal decision. If seeing those people helps you to feel motivated to kind of be more open, be more caring, be more insightful, be more understanding, be more compassionate, then go for it. But and also, it's not a static thing. It's something that can develop over time. So now that we've kind of covered having a space, having your cushion, having your shrine, we can move now to maybe social support. So if it's something that is really important to you, and mind you, a lot of these things that I'm talking about actually just apply to habits in general. It doesn't have to be only for meditation, but we're going on this topic. So maybe telling a few of your friends, like, hey, I'm doing this. Maybe if you feel it's appropriate, we don't want to push onto other people, but hey, would you like to try this with me? Or maybe of people who have always kind of maybe been in the same situation where it's like, oh yeah, I want to do that, but I just never find the time. And if it's not that kind of friend, maybe it's just more of someone that you can say, hey, I'm going to try this meditation thing. I really want to try it every day, or every, maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. And I'm just letting you know because I want an accountability partner. So that's what we call that, that person or that role, is that they're helping you just by telling them they're helping you. And you can have different levels of, hey, you can tell the person like, hey, can you follow up with me? Or it can just be someone you can let them know. And just because we're social creatures, we inherently, we care about what other people think, especially if they're generally people that are dear to us, that we're gonna want to sort of be consistent. If I say, hey, I'm a meditator, I meditate every day, and it's like, then I think of our relationship, I'm gonna be like, God, I gotta do that, because I want to be the person that I represent myself as, and I want them to see me as consistent with my values. So there's that social support. And then lastly, I'd say that there is the teaching support, I would say. It can be books on meditation. You can check out some of my book recommendations below. It can be this YouTube channel. It can be other YouTube channels. It could be other lectures. There are, communities, podcasts, whatever maybe inspiration source that you can find that is going to help you grow and learn, especially if it's not something that you're that familiar with. If you're kind of hungry to learn more, then go ahead and do that. Give yourself that opportunity to have those resources. So that's all I'll say about sports to our practice. Oh, sorry, that's not all I'll say. I'll say one more thing, which is a schedule. So are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? Are you an afternoon person? And maybe independent of those three times, is there a time that you want to meditate? Maybe you're not a morning person. So you're like, you know what? I want to do this first thing in the morning to help me start my day, to help me create a healthy habit. I generally meditate first thing when I wake up. Or yeah, maybe, you know, I do one or two things and then I go to meditate. And I love that. I feel like it's a way that I can set the tone for my day and also kind of stabilize myself. You know, a lot of things come at us every day, all day. And when I find I can meditate, it's like I feel like, okay, I did something good for me, and I've kind of put my head on a little more straight. You know, a lot of our meditation deals with allowing our thoughts to pass by, not attaching to everything that comes into our head. So sometimes I feel like when I meditate in the morning, it helps me do just that throughout my day. And then, you know, conversely, maybe at night, it helps you go to sleep if you have problems with insomnia, which I do sometimes. It can be a very good way. Sometimes where our mind is racing and racing. And to be honest, meditating, it can be a bit boring sometimes. So if we just sit there and we're just breathing, you know, it's like, this is boring. I just would rather go to sleep. And then we can fall asleep much more easily. So, you know, the benefits to all of that. But, you know, again, a very personal choice. All of these are personal choices. But I do think that there's a lot of strength in all of these four choices. So, again, just to recap, a place, setting a place where you meditate, deciding how your shrine and altar might be. Oh my God, I'm going to forget. Setting a time, having teaching tools, and then the last one I forgot, but you guys I'm sure paid more attention than I did. So that said, let's go ahead and meditate now. So we're gonna go ahead and take our seat if you haven't already done so. So just having a firm seat on the ground or in a chair. So allowing your butt to sink into that surface, whatever you're sitting on. You do want to, especially if you're sitting on the floor, you want to have some cushions underneath your butt so that you're elevating your hips. Again, I've said this before, but you want your hips to be above your knees. So there's not a specific angle, but you do want them to be above, because if it's flat, it's really easy to kind of like fall back, and eventually your lower back gets tired. Allowing your spine to grow out of that stability, out of that foundation of your hips. Allowing your arms just to come straight down from the shoulder. Letting your hands sit just above the knees or wherever is comfortable for you. But there shouldn't be any kind of holding in your arms. You shouldn't feel like you're holding them up. Just letting your palms rest flat on your thighs. Allowing that strength and that straightness of your back come into your neck. And in order to elongate the neck, we're just going to bring our chin down just a bit. Don't have to crank it down, just a bit. And then our little magic thing, we're going to allow our tongue to sit right where the top teeth touch the roof of our mouth, touch our gums. And again, that's just an energy thing, allowing the energy to cycle through the body. And you might notice, as I always do, just by going through the posture, just by reminding myself of the posture of meditation, I'm already slowing down. Allowing yourself to feel that if you feel that. And now we're just going to do our practice. So we've found our seat, we've placed our body where it needs to be. And we're just going to breathe in through our nose. And breathe out through our nose as well. Breathing in. And breathing out. And as we breathe, we'll get distracted at some point. Our mind will go somewhere besides the breath. as I'm speaking, feel free to just continue breathing. You don't need to look at the screen. You don't even really need to listen to my words unless it's helpful to you. Just breathing in and out. But when we do get distracted, we're bringing our focus back gently, very gently back to the breathing. Kind of like a little puppy dog where we put it to sit down one place and then immediately it's just going here and going there. And it's a puppy, so we're gonna be very gentle, patient. We're just gonna grab it, say, okay, come just sit here, just stay here, just stay with the breath. And besides bringing the thought or focus back, we're also, part of that is also not engaging in the thought. So if it's a thought of like, hey, I'm always thinking about food. So it's like, hey, what's for dinner? It's like, yeah, what is for dinner? I'm like, oh, I hope my friend makes that really good chicken dish, and oh yeah, but last time it was too salty, and it's like, it's very easy to hang on, to latch on to a thought and to kind of evolve it, make it grow more complex. Okay, so again, this will happen, that's okay. But as soon as we notice that thought, it could be the first step, it could be the 10th step, but as soon as we notice the thought, we're coming back to the breath. And no judgment. If you've been thinking for a minute or 2 or 5, no judgment. Just coming back to the breath. And that's the practice. So I've done enough talking, so let's just go ahead and do that. As I put more videos out, as we're growing together, we're gonna, as I get into the meditations, I'm always gonna give the beginning practice for whoever is new. But over time, we'll just practice together, which will be very beautiful, okay? So for 2 minutes, just doing that practice and just remembering as best you can, come back to the breath, come back to our focus. So 2 minutes starting now. Okay, guys, just gently coming out of your focus. Coming back to the room around you. So, I hope you had a good meditation. Thanks for being here with me. As always, I encourage you, if you could leave any comments below, if you have any questions, if anything worked well for you. You can also email me, but I do love it when people comment just so that we can kind of share as a community and grow as a community. A lot of times people have the same concerns and it seems like maybe you're all alone, but a lot of the questions, they can be very similar. So let's help each other and help ourselves and continue to practice together. So thanks so much, and I will see you next time.